Sophie Mokoena is SABC News International Editor and joins us now. Sophie, good afternoon. Let's start with the election of the Pope. It will be, for many people, a case of real life following art, in the sense that many people have been watching that movie Conclave in the last few weeks, especially since Pope Francis died. Now, the real conclave will be taking place this week.
Yes, you are correct. On the 7th of May, we are going to see cardinals coming together, that conclave beginning its work. We know that we have 252 cardinals worldwide, but only 135 will be participating in the election of a new pope. And we are told that there are quite a number of names that are doing the rounds. One, a cardinal from Italy, the other cardinal from Hungary, the other cardinal from Philippines, and also you have the cardinals from Africa, one from Guinea, the other one from DRC, and the last one from Ghana. So people are looking at those countries that possibly we will see one of those countries giving us a pope. But remember, this is a project, or I can say this is a process that is being handled by those who are in the position to vote, and those 135 cardinals. And therefore, you can expect anyone to emerge as the Pope.
Yeah, and it's an interesting process, despite the fact that, you know, it's secretive. It will be done in absolute secrecy. The cardinals isolated while they're inside the Sistine Chapel. And I guess what you and I will be watching very closely is what color smoke emerges from the chimney.
You are correct. All eyes will be on the chimney in the Vatican. You know that many people have interest in this. You'll have people outside the Vatican, but also you'll have people around the world who'll be glued on their television screens to see what's going to be the breaking news. And you'd recall that previously, the last one, it took some time and a number of tries there. And finally, the name came up, Pope Francis. And this time around, we don't know how long will it take for that process to be concluded. But I think members of the Catholic Church are praying this Sunday and tomorrow for divine intervention and to have a process that is going to run very smooth. As you know, that Catholic Church, it's quite a big church. Yeah. Lots of people around the world are members of the Catholic Church, almost 2 billion. We know that on the African continent, you have 250,000 people who are members of this church. And we know that it is going to be a very, very long day, the 7th of May, but all eyes will be at the Vatican. We will have our correspondent, Trent Murray, on the ground, bringing you information as it happens, starting from early in the morning, Morning Live, Agenda, On Point, SA Today, Full View, and also Late Edition. Yeah. And we will have a team in Johannesburg monitoring the news. Also, my colleagues, Kaya Kumalo, Ditaba Tsotetsi, and myself will be monitoring that story. And also Shawan Braspies at the United Nations, when you look at general reaction from around the world. As you saw, that picture of Donald Trump, you know, that AI, Donald Trump saying he wants to be the Pope, it speaks to the interest. People might laugh and think that it's a joke. It's not a joke in a sense that there's huge interest generally, including from the global leaders, because some want they do want a very conservative Pope. Others want continuation of what Pope Francis had done.
Yeah, of course, the Vatican is the world's smallest state, but not small in terms of its role in wading in on international relations. Back on the continent, Sophie, let's talk about the DRC peace process. We're watching the one leg of it, the phased withdrawal of the summit DRC forces, which includes an SANDF component. But at the same time, there's this peace process between Rwanda and the DRC. How far is that?
Well, you know, Tulas, you've covered international news, particularly the continent. I'm sure when you are watching what's happening now, you will be disappointed that there's a saying, and this slogan was adopted by the leaders, particularly at this moment in May, where we are celebrating or looking back at Africa Day, since the formation of the Organization of African Unity and the transformation of the OAU to the AU, the African Union. Now the problem of the DRC being resolved outside the continent, it's an indictment to the leaders in the Great Lakes region, the leaders in the regions that are affected. I'm talking about SADC and also EAC, and the continental body, the African Union, where now America is at the center. And not only that, the president of the DRC now giving mineral rights to Americans. We know that the struggle as it relates to the DRC has always been about the mineral resources of that country and the external forces who are coming in, taking minerals and leaving the country very poor and disgruntled. And we had DRC having a case against multinational companies that are involved in the IT work, because you need those rare minerals for technology. And all of a sudden, we see this report. And therefore, that process, I'm not sure where it's going to lead us. Secondly, that process is excluding the military formations, or one can say, including the M23. You know, there are many groups, the military groups and rebels in that country. They are excluded. You're talking about Rwandan government and the DRC, Kinshasa. And therefore, is this sustainable? I'm not sure. Withdrawal, we had the minister talking about where the process is. They've taken quite a number of equipment to Tanzania. It will be loaded on the vessel at the port of Dar es Salaam to Durban port, and we expect the personnel to fly back to the country, the soldiers, where they will receive also psychological counseling and all of that, because they were operating under very trying environment. That's where the process is, but it's not yet complete. You are going to see the second phase and the last phase of withdrawal.
Right. Sophie, very quickly and lastly, Russia will be marking Victory in Europe Day, and we're told it comes with an extension of an olive branch in a way from President Putin, albeit for a few days.
Well, that's the announcement, but the president of Ukraine said he can't guarantee that, and therefore fighting is continuing. We expect some number of heads of state and government to attend that commemoration, and I can single out China as the second largest economy in the world and a friend to Russia, member of BRICS, South-South. You also have Brazil, the member of BRICS, and also the South-South, and other leaders in the region that have been invited. But I think people will be watching what's going to happen, and I can assure you visually it's going to be very massive in terms of Russia displaying its capability. And you know, Putin can really show off.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that. That's Sophie Mokoena, SABC News International Editor, just giving you a glimpse into some of the stories you can expect to dominate on their diary this coming weeks.